Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating in my studio. Every day I share a video with you on YouTube in which I paint and create all sorts of nature-inspired pictures. I also share loads of tips on how to make the most of your painting journey, interrupted fairly frequently by our family of dogs, cats, chickens and sheep. So welcome on board. Click subscribe and turn on notifications and let's learn to paint watercolour. Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to be drawing some pumpkins and I'm going to paint them in some lovely bright fall colours because I think it's time for a little bit of autumn cheer since it's been so chilly. Seems only reasonable that we should get to enjoy the wonderful colours that autumn brings along with it, doesn't it? So I've sketched in the outline of one pumpkin here, and I'm just filling in the lines that show where the ribs and so on are. This one over here is going to be a little bit bigger, and so we'll have that one coming around like that, and most of the details will come in when we actually come to paint it. But I'm sure all of you are far more familiar with the shape and the type of pumpkins that you get, because in America I know they're much more common and more popular and important culturally than they are in Europe, although I must admit in England nowadays, although I'm not in England, I'm in France, which is another story altogether. When you go into the supermarkets around about this time of year, you are confronted by large crate loads of orange, almost inedible pumpkins. Anyway, so there's the stalk and the nice bit. They remind me of sort of, I don't know what you call them. We used to call them puffs. When I was a child, we used to have these things that we put our feet on in the front room, and they were shaped a bit like this. Well, actually, my mother used to call them puffies. Was London, working class London slang. Get the puffy out, Diane, will you? Okay, so that's the noise in the background is the kitten doing his 40 laps of the room. Let's put a leaf here, a maple leaf, why not? Arthur, really? And let's have another one up the back here. Maybe another one over here. Okay, so there's our sketch, and I'm going to start off painting these pumpkins with cadmium orange, and I'm just going to be dropping in some cadmium orange all the way around, allowing it to vary a little bit in terms of strength, but just basically getting an orange colour for the basis of the pumpkins. And this Kuretake water brush is really perfect for this because it has a nice flat set of bristles, and it puts the colour on really well. So that's great. I'm really enjoying using this brush. Okay, so now I'm coming in with the second pumpkin, same colour, and we'll make it a little bit darker here where it comes up against the other one, which is quite light. And we'll just get this in, and then I'm going to, after I've got this coat in, I will let it dry. Just keep the brush strokes nice and free. Don't need to worry too much about any kind of accuracy. Stay roughly within the lines. And then the one in the front again, which will probably be the brightest one when it comes to it. And we'll just keep the strokes nice and free, following the line of the actual shape of the pumpkin. So going round like this all the time. And then I'm going to consider now the maple leaf in the background here. I'm going to give him a undercoat of quinacridone gold. I should have mentioned the paints I'm using. I'm using White Knight, St. Petersburg colours here for the cadmium orange, and then I've got Schminke quinacridone gold, which I'm going to use for the first layer of the maple leaves, and just pop that in without any particular aim in mind, except to make it golden. It's a different colour from the cadmium orange, so we've got some kind of contrast in the base tones there. And maybe we'll put a little bit of that in the stem area, which we'll darken down with some green, but we'll put the yellow in first. There we are, okie dokie. It's drying fairly quickly. So the next thing is to think about where the lines, the shadows are coming down, I suppose. And we'll use the same orange. I just need a palette to mix in, on, or around. So we take some of our cadmium orange and we're going to make it a bit darker. So we can use burnt sienna for that, probably, if I can find it. Burnt sienna. That burnt sienna doesn't seem to be doing too well. So let's see what else I can find. There we are, that's better. So if we paint in these lines, like that, then clean the brush and just wet, go in wet, let the whole thing run. And now some more orange. And then if we mix the orange with a very dark green, we can put some green in the center there, and clean off our brush soften this a bit. Okay, that's fine. So then we're going to come in and do exactly the same thing on the next one. That was brown, so we want some brown. That might be a bit too dark. That's better. And then the orange. This cadmium orange is ideal for pumpkins, has to be said. I'm just dropping in a bit of water here to make that soften. So we've got the light area on the top of the pumpkin where the sun is hitting it. And then we'll let that dry. Maybe just put a little bit more orange in there, straighten that out a bit. And then same again here, let's come in with some light brown. And then the orange, lovely and bright, nice and strong. Squeeze your water brush as you come in with that so that it gradually weakens it as it goes round. Then you can add a bit more and it will run in and beautifully blend. And then you want to just keep squeezing the water brush to give you plenty of water so you can lift that out. And then we want a bit more around the bottom edge. Okay, so we need to leave that to dry a little bit. We'll just pop in something there for the center so we can see what we're up to. And then with this green, this kind of sludgy green that we've got, we could just come into our autumn leaf and give it a second coat now with the green and some oranges and the quinacridone gold. Yeah, the green in contrast to the orange there. Not too much green, but we want a nice contrast there, and then the quinacridone gold. And then we'll do the same over here. A little bit of green on this side, contrasting with the orange of the pumpkin. And you could, at that point, you could come in with your sharp implement, either a glass pen or something similar, and you could do the veins on the leaves like this, and they'll show up because wherever you scratch a line, it makes an indentation, and then you get a darker line coming up in terms of shadow. And what I'm going to do at the moment now is just let that dry and come back in with the background next and some details. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of shadow in on the stem here. I think I might use the smaller water brush. Just add some shadow there for the minute. And I am going to add some bright yellow, orange to the pumpkin. I'm going to add some transparent orange from the Viviva palette now. This is saffron from Viviva, and it's a completely transparent colour, so it just goes right over the top of everything that we've put underneath and just brightens it up. Very intense, which is exactly what you need for pumpkins, I think, to be fair. And then I think we'll probably do the same over here. Keep the strokes nice and loose. And then the front one here too, same deal. Maybe we'll put a bit of vermilion in there too, as well as the saffron. Beautifully transparent. Okay, and then because we've got these maple leaves, this is a bit of a Canadian theme going on here with the maple leaf, isn't it? And put some green in on this side here. Probably want some orange there, I've missed a bit. And yeah, I'll come in here again with some orange. and some darker browns. Put some drops in there to just give some odd shapes, bleed a little bit. And now I'm going to start thinking about the background a little bit, and for the background I'm going to take my black tulip cat's tongue brush and just wet the background area. I've got a line in here which is the line of it. Let's say they're on a table, so that's the line of where the table is. So I'm just wetting up to there first of all, and then I'm going to do a sort of black background in kind of greens. So we'll just go in here to our sludgy green colours and just drop some of that in, and we'll go a little bit blue on the mauve side too as we get closer to the greenish stems, just to give us some contrast, and just keep this really loose. You want the what's the word, the contrast of the purple with the green and the orange is very good. So that's the first layer there. And then the second thing is to come in around the foreground, and so we're going to do the same thing exactly. So just make it wet. And I think the same, the quinacridone magenta, just dulled down a little bit with green, so it's not too purple. That gives you a kind of brownish colour. And then we'll put that between the pumpkins, the leaves. The only bit where you really need to be a little bit careful is to preserve the shape of the pumpkin, which is that characteristic shape. The cat's tongue is quite good for that. Because it's got this nice point. And the colour should run reasonably well. On the wet paper. And just make sure we got that horizon line roughly level on both sides. It's not exactly a horizon, it's the table. But... Okay, and now we let that dry. Okay, so that's more or less dry, and I'm just going to come in now with a few little bits of darker colour to just accentuate some of the shapes, and I'll play with that a little bit, and then shortly I'll show you the final painting. And yeah, this is an interesting experiment in colour. The contrasts are great, the purple against the orange against the green, and so on. You'll have fun with that, no doubt. So there's the final painting. Hope you enjoyed that today, and give it a try, and I hope to see you again here soon. Please go over to my website dianeantone.com, where you can download the sketch of this painting and make it your own for free. We've also got other things on there that you might be interested in, and don't forget about the channel membership. We'd be very thrilled to have people joining the channel. We've got the private Facebook group for you to belong to as well once you're a member of level 2 or above. And coming soon, the merchandise shelf on here. Now that we've passed 10,000 subscribers, we're going to be able to offer you special discounts and personalised merchandise which you might enjoy, such as, for example, mugs with lovely paintings on. So I'll let you go now. Sounds like the dogs think it's time for their lunch, but they couldn't be further from the truth. And I shall see you again here tomorrow. Thanks again, everybody, and bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.